Welcome back, you guys. So, this is now episode 3, and I'm happy to announce that I did, in fact, reach my 2 pound goal. Actually, was close to 3 pounds because last time, episode 2, I was at 280.9, and now I'm at 278 even. So, that was pretty surprising, the fact that I lost close to 3 pounds. Now, I'm going to show you a chart, a graph of how I did. Should be like right here. It's going to cover my face for a little bit. And you'll be to see that it kind of fluctuated. There's some places where it fluctuated. And then close to the end, I had several days in a row where it just kept on going down. And then finally, it ticked up a little bit, and then it went really down, which is pretty nice. I think I can kind of pinpoint that as uh, being caused by my, I want to say it's intermittent fasting, where lately I'll I'll stop eating around like 5 ish, sometimes before 5. I don't think I've ever done after 5, but I'm just going to cover my bases. And then I just don't eat. I'm usually at work, so it's really easy not to eat. And then when I get out, I try to just go to sleep directly. Sometimes I'll stay up just to do some last minute editing, or if I finish editing a chapter and I need to post it onto my website, which remember, go check out my website where you can read my web novel, Creation Path of the God. And there's book 1 already finished, and then book 2 is um, chugging along. So, yeah, there's a lot of material that you can check out for free. And I mean, I'm biased, but I think it's pretty decent. And I've been increasing, looking at my analytics, people have been increasing in terms of going to my website and checking it out. So, whoever checked out, for those of you that checked out my website, thank you. And I really appreciate the support. Um, so, yeah, I'll just like upload a chapter, uh, announce it on my Discord. And lately, I've also been starting on my Discord. I'll post my weight. I'll also post my weightlifting. So, what I did during my weightlifting sessions, and also what I ate for the day. And the what I ate for the day, that's pretty lax. I don't put I don't measure out my calories, and so I just say like I ate 2 grapefruits, and then I ate 13 strawberries, or I ate a stew that I made. And so, yeah, maybe I'll post somewhere around here, picture of the stew that I ate. I just realized I probably should silence my phone. So yeah, like the days I've noticed where it goes back up my weight are days that I usually like eat before I go to sleep, and I still get like somewhere around like 6 hours of sleep, and that's you can probably consider that like fasting because I'm not eating anything, but it's nowhere near um the 18 some hours where I'm not eating and I'm just um I'm just fasting the entire time. So I've been looking into some stuff, and some YouTube channels, and then I've looked at some Harvard um, medical blogs, and I'm thinking one of the reasons why it's so hard for me to lose weight is maybe due to insulin resistance, and so some of the things I looked up was that intermittent fasting um, really helps with increasing insulin sensitivity, and that's I think that could be the reason why I'm seeing a steady decrease in weight. Um, and so yeah, I'm gonna have to like. It's still like so too soon to really say whether that's the cause or not. But if I continue on this trend, I think that could be a good indicator. And for those, I think worried about like how much eating and stuff, doing fasting. Um, I don't think I'm. I don't think I'm like starving myself because just before I filmed this video, um, I had like, I had like 15. I can't remember how many strawberries. It's on my Discord. I just don't want to check it right now. Um, I had strawberries and I had two grapefruits. And so after I ate the strawberries, I was going through and eating the grapefruit, and I like really had to push myself. I wanted to finish eating the grapefruit because I wanted to increase like my fiber count, and so the stew also had lots of soybean sprouts. So and then other vegetables inside of it, like radish and zucchini. So it was a decent amount of fiber inside that stew, and then adding on top of that, I think was it half a grapefruit is like 2 grams of fiber, so, and I had two whole grapefruits, so that's 8 grams of fiber. And then I'm not quite sure about strawberries. It's probably like 1 gram for like the amount 1 or 2 grams for how much I ate. So like that's probably like 10, and then probably like 15 grams. I don't know. I'm kind of like ballparking. I'm I'm nowhere near like I think it's like 35 grams you're supposed to eat of fiber. So I still have a long way to go. But um yeah, I definitely need to probably eat some more vegetables and maybe buy some more I don't know. I have to look into like what types of foods are really high in fiber. I know celery is. So I might get some celery sometime this week, pick some up, and then I'm still devouring the fruits. And I was surprised that I'm still losing weight even though I'm eating so much fruits. Um, since they have so much sugar inside them, I thought that that would cause issues, but I think it's the calories are probably still lower than what my maintenance level is or my basal metabolic rate. I think that's like the amount when I'm at rest that my body naturally burns up. I think that I'm still in a caloric deficit. And so the fruit isn't pushing it, getting over. And so that's probably why I'm still losing weight. And the fact that I'm losing, I think, so this is episode 3, and this was success of 2 pounds. So I've lost like 6 pounds so far in the past 3 weeks. Um, I think it's a good indicator that what I'm doing is working, and I'm not really getting tired of it. Um, it's a pretty easy process. I think that's probably one of the reasons why it's really hard for people to get lose weight is because dieting sometimes feels like a chore. But the nice thing is like whenever um, a benefit that I didn't expect is since I'm always like cutting up vegetables, cutting up fruits and stuff, I'm always like fully washing all of my dishes. And so, um, yeah, I don't have like, I used to have like, sometimes I'd have like a couple of plates still inside the sink, not yet washed. But now like the sink is almost never full because almost every morning I'm doing the dishes as I'm like getting ready to before I go to work and before I cut up the food to take to work. Um, just prepping that, and then I have like little my plastic Tupperwares, like plastic. Not I don't think they're Tupperwares officially, um, but the plastic food containers um, to have the food. And I also got some beef shaving. I mean, you'll see that. I think if I posted the picture of my stew, you should see the beef shaving that I just put on top of this stew. I might take some beef shavings to work and eat them while I'm at work. And then I still need to make some more hard boiled eggs. I watched some videos and they say eggs have the highest percentage that's converted to actual like muscles or something like that or tissue. And so and they said like they themselves eat like 4 to 5 eggs a day, which is how I do it. So I'm thinking I might just eat more eggs, which I have no issues with eating eggs. I really like eating hard boiled eggs. Um, so yeah, that's that's been like this week so far. I mean, the nice thing is this week was a lower weight week. So all of when I was going through each of the weightlifting, I took down like how much weight I was actually lifting, significant amount. The reason why was because I wanted to make sure that I was hitting those the reps, so like 12 to 15, and for the most part, I actually did hit them. So this week I'll try to go back and increase and see if I'll do like 6 to 9 or something like that. Oh yeah, probably like 6 to 9 reps and see how it goes. So far I'm feeling stronger. This morning I had to run for a little bit, like a short distance, and I was surprised that I wasn't breathing heavily. And so I think that's a good sign that like my body slowly getting fitter. And another good indication was like so at work I'm always going whenever I use the restroom, I always go up to like the highest floor and I use the restroom up there. So I'm constantly going up the stairs, going down the stairs, probably like 3 to 4 times a day while I'm at work. Um, and one of the times I just kept on running up the stairs, walking when it turns, and then running up the stairs again. And I was able to do that all the way up to the restroom floor where I use the restroom. So I was pretty proud about that. I mean, I was still like breathing heavily, but I usually do that with like over a 20 pound backpack on my back going up the stairs, and so it's kind of like I don't know. That's like some form of cardio. I don't know. It's like aerobic or anaerobic. I have no idea. If a trainer one of these days like sees these videos, like I would hope they would leave a comment about what kind of how that kind of running up the stairs is what it's doing to my body. Obviously positive. Um, so yeah, um, I feel like I also feel like I also was able to release more chapters, which is good. It's the current part of book two is kind of I've gotten some pushback in the past about it, and so oh my nose is so itchy right now. So it's definitely something that I'm trying to be aware of, trying to improve it, and so I'm hoping it's meeting expectations, at least like the way I'm describing. I don't want to. I don't want to have just back and forth communication with like no feel for the characters when they're talking with one another, and so the readers can also get a good sense of the surroundings. But I'm definitely still lacking, so there's still some improvement to being that needs to be made. But overall, I definitely think it's better than the previous iteration, and so as long as there's some improvement, I feel like that's a good thing. Um, like I still remember one of the comments that a reader told me how they enjoy that they can't predict how the story's going to go, um, and they see that it's improving over time, and so they're enjoying that. And I figure as long as it's fulfilling those two things, it's kind of like weight loss. Yeah, sure, I'm not doing large numbers like some of the other YouTubers talk about. When you're watching their weight loss journey, they're like, oh, lost like 10 pounds, lost like 15 pounds. I'm being hyperbolic here a little bit. Um, but yeah, I think like 2 pounds. Like I was surprised by 3 pounds, because I wasn't really trying anything too like crazy. But that could be because like my insulin, like my body's getting more sensitive towards insulin maybe, and so maybe start seeing bigger numbers. But yeah, like as long as I'm slowly improving, just like with weight loss, where I'm just hitting those numbers, I think my web novel will have a similar situation where as long as I'm just putting out the best I can do at the moment, readers will respond to that. I also like made a new article that dived into something that I talked about in episode 2 about YouTube and web novels, and also just for new authors who are interested in writing a web novel, but they're curious as how to make money or how to monetize their work. And so I wrote an article on my website about that. Just head over to my, I'll have like the link up above me, and they'll also be in the description too. Um, it's kind of like I get how new authors, um, they kind of have like a sense for what the whole writing process is or writing a book, especially talking to younger authors who are like just starting out. Like they've maybe like written some stuff, but they've had no one read it before, and it's maybe like their first work ever. And I was kind of thinking about how it feels like, especially the writing community, has a very like narrow view on how to actually do a story and what kind of mediums you have, and it's primarily just like you write a story, you hire an editor, maybe a proofreader, and then you send out inquiries to like publishing houses, or you post it on Amazon for if you're a self publisher, and like that's about it. Like I mean the editor and proofreader makes sense. I have no issues with that. It just seems like everybody that I've talked to personally, and then some Reddit posts I've read about those who've self published, the amount of money that they've made is like nothing. And it kind of makes me think like it's kind of like survivorship bias, where like you're only seeing like people who succeed and who have like obviously like those who have um, a YouTube channel and they're talking about being an author and like their work. They have a degree of success. Some of them have their own like writing services they offer for clients, or it's like seminars or camps you could go to, and like it makes it sound like it's a super. I mean, they're pretty honest about it being difficult, but I feel like when viewers watch that, it kind of makes it seem like it's an easier process. But like if you just think about the amount of time it takes, like I've seen some people say like, oh, I spent like 2 years editing my book, um, maybe like 5 years because they really want to make sure that it's good. But and then they either like send it out to publishing houses or they like format it and sell on Amazon, and then they don't even like make that much money from it. Um, or they like break even because like of all the costs for um hiring a contracting a editor and proofreader and formatting the book or like a bunch of other stuff. And I don't know, like that kind of irks me because like for me like yeah, writing is fun, but at the same time um like going to a job like day in day out, like it can be a little bit stressful, like having to deal with that, especially if it's not your passion. um and you get to hear like comments about like um people saying like when are you going to become a full-time writer, or like other other jabs that are made at your expense. And so when thinking about that, I kind of feel like writing the article and like kind of laying it out, I want new authors to know that there is a way that sure you might not make a lot, but maybe you'll make like gas money. Um, and then as you're going through the process, just like with trying to lose weight, you'll get better and better and better at it. And as you improve, um, people will notice that. And then, like I mentioned in the last one, the nice thing about web novels is you can always go back and edit them. And I feel like readers who are really interested in your work, they totally understand if you like go back and re-edit chapters, because a lot of them um, reread books, your book, and if it's like better the second time around, they notice and it improves their experience, and they go like, oh yeah, like this is definitely better. The storyline is a lot smoother. The characters have more depth. I get a better understanding of character motivations because of this part, and you kind of like build this community like a lot faster. Um, and then I also talked about in the article like there are other sites. If you're interested in knowing what sites you can post your work, if you're an amateur writer and you want to like write a new like fantasy novel, web novel, I posted inside the article what sites you can go to. There are several, um, and each one has their pros and cons, and then some of them are kind of similar to one another. Um, but the one thing I said was like if you have your own website and you have your web novel on that website, the nice thing is you can start right away, day one. You can do an Amazon affiliate, or you can do, and or you could do Google AdSense. And maybe like as traffic is slowly coming through your website, you can actually start generating um, money from that. And once you start seeing like you're actually earning something, I feel like a lot of authors won't get as discouraged as much, because I see a lot of web novel authors, they'll get some criticism, and when they get the criticism, they don't see it as being like productive, like pointing out actual things that they need to work on. They kind of see it as like discouraging, and so they just want to quit, and so they'll stop after like however many chapters. And like it could be like a good book idea, I mean, it might not be like the next Harry Potter, but it's definitely something that people would enjoy reading, especially around the world. Um, and so, like seeing earnings coming in each day, each month, slowly building up. Um, I think it would help motivate a lot of authors to like improve their writing because money can be a good driving force. Um, like that's one of the reasons why I've kind of decided to do weight loss. I mean, like I mentioned in episode one about the main reasons why, like get rid of that kind of stigma of like being an author and being overweight kind of thing. But there is a correlation between like being healthier and how people interact with you and how like that can actually lead to bigger and better opportunities. And so having that like kind of profit motive, um, I feel like could be a good thing for people who are like just starting off and they want to just make something. So because like when I'm looking at my my work, like the back end stuff, and I'm seeing like like weird numbers. I'm a lot of my like the people who are reading like are like not middle age, but they're definitely close to being middle age. Um, which I was like surprised about that. Like these are like adults, probably with family and with a job, who are like primarily the ones that are checking out my work. Um, I actually don't have. I feel like who I thought would be higher would be like college age people, but it's not as. I don't believe it's as high, like nowhere near as close as like full fledged adults, like people who are like out of college and like have full time jobs with a family and maybe kids, maybe a house and stuff like that, which that that really surprised me. And like the number of um, due to like the more like due to some of the themes of my work, definitely for the themes are definitely for the right age, the middle age people that are coming to my website and reading my work. Um, I do expect that guys would appreciate that my work, but I'm starting to notice an increase in number of um, women who are checking out my website, which I was like, okay, like that's interesting. It'd be like, I mean, I know like guys go on to like a certain website that ends with hub, um, and I feel like that's obvious for obvious reasons of why that makes sense. But then it'd be like, yeah, there are like just as many women who are going on to that website and like watching the videos, and I kind of feel I was like equally as surprised when I saw a larger number of women who are going onto my website, especially for some of the scenes, the more intimate scenes between some of the characters. Um, yeah, I mean, book one has a lot of those, and then book two, I want to kind of like move away from book one, so I haven't really included that, but there's still like intimate scenes, or hinting towards intimate scenes inside book two, and so I mean, at least I'm kind of glad that I'd rather the age group coming to my website is um, a lot older than the other direction, because that would be a whole different can of worms. Um, and I mean, if women are enjoying my work, like that's awesome too. I'm glad that both guys, men and women, can um, enjoy what I put out there, especially for like the very like niche audience that I'm going towards, which is like people who just enjoy reading those um, web novels that have like those types of scenes that are actually like fully fleshed out. I mean, like there's numerous web novels that I read where like those scenes will be like so like superficial, like you get what they're saying they're going to do, but you never actually like, and like the scenes are usually really vanilla. I guess that's a good way. I mean, um if you're in a certain community, like the word vanilla should um make sense. There's not a lot of creativity. Um, it feels like very amateur. Um, but for me, like I really want to like hammer it in. Um, if I sorry about the pun. But yeah, that's the type of things that I was kind of going for, and which is why like I expect it to be older age than the other way. And I'm happy for that. I'm glad that it's older, not yeah. That would have been frustrating to say the least. Um, but yeah, it's not. It's definitely not a for everyone type of web novel. Intentionally made so. And if you read the first chapter, like I intentionally do like a gut punch, an emotional gut punch to the readers, um, just to make sure that the people who are like continuing through can handle what will later go on. I mean, it's because like I don't see I only see like I don't know, like parents maybe like they're going to the job, and or it's like before they go to sleep they just want to read something, um or maybe they want to use it as like inspiration. That'd be interesting. I doubt that part, but that'd be funny. But yeah, but I also got like an interesting comment. I don't know if I addressed this in previous videos, but some people said, not in not in the comment section, but it was more like people I showed these videos to. They were kind of like, these videos are kind of boring. Like they're not as um, production level as some other YouTube channels, and I was like, yeah, that's that's somewhat intentional. Like I kind of feel like glamorizing the whole weight loss process, or like the whole writing a web novel series um, is not the route that I want to take, where I make it sound like it's fun and exciting. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's definitely not exciting. Um, it's pretty boring. Like at least weight losses. Web novel is a little bit more fun because like it's a way for me to kind of like unwind and kind of like put my thoughts that are like kind of buried up there and it needs someplace to go. I just kind of like put it into the story, and it helps. It really helped me like get through like a pretty rough time in my life. Probably the reason why chapter one is such a emotional gut punch was because I was kind of feeling that when I was writing it. and I included other things that I myself have like thought about, um, especially with some of the characters. Not all of them the main character. Surprising enough, like the main character isn't really a one-to-one depiction of like my inner self or whatever. There's a scattering of like my thoughts amongst the characters and how I kind of see the world. Um, so if you want to like get to know me better, like definitely read the web novel. You'll get more hints as to like the type of guy that I'm kind of like, which I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I mean I'm being honest here. But yeah, like losing weight is kind of, yeah, it drags. It's not exciting. You have to like have an understanding that it's not a quick process, and you're not going to see like fast results, and things are just going to be like it's just chugging along, and like it's definitely like not something that you bounce out of bed for. At least I don't. I don't know. Maybe there's some people, like if you're watching this and you're the type of person to get excited about like day to day, um, like the whole process, then like leave a comment. But for me, I kind of see it as like when you're going to school and like you have to read the book, you gotta do the homework, you gotta um, deal with maybe classmates that you're not too like fond of. Um, but then there are like moments where you get to like hang out with people that you're really into. And so like going to school is pretty fun. But for the most part, you're like, let's just get through this. Let's just chug along, and at some point, if we keep on making progress, like it'll land someplace better. Like most people, it's like school is like either A, get into a better college, or if you're done getting done with college, then it's to land a really great career and start your life kind of situation. But doing that process, and then like even when you're at work, like if you're like a corporate environment and you want to continuously get promoted, in order to like get the better wages, the more opportunities, the more networking chances. So then, like you can either keep on going up the corporate ladder, or make a lateral move where I think that's lateral move where you go to like another company where you usually see a pretty sizable bump if like someone else is like inviting you to like come over. They're like, "Hey, we worked on that project. I really enjoyed working with you. I think um, I think you'd make a really good addition inside of our company, and here are some of the here's like the pay that you would receive, and like here are the benefits, and like they kind of like swoon you to try to hop ship, um, and yeah, that's like what you're trying to reach. And so like me with losing weight, I'm trying to um, I'm trying to lose weight in order to one, be healthier, um, not die at a young age, um, to kind of have more confidence in myself, to go back to when I was 150 and it was easier time like socializing with other people, and there's some definitely more opportunities when I was um, in shape, not just thin. I was like in shape. Um, yeah, like it's overall better. I mean, if someone had to choose, if someone gave you like a magic pill and they're like, "Hey, this pill will make you the optimum uh, version of yourself with no drawbacks and no strings attached. Like I'm just going to give it to you, and I expect nothing in return. Um, and it doesn't hurt anyone. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't hurt anyone. There are literally zero consequences, like negative consequences. I feel like it'd be very unusual if you didn't take it. That's what I think. I think most people would just like pop. They'd be like, "Yep, no questions asked." Like pop that in, and then become better form of themselves. So it's definitely not unusual for me. I mean, the only part that's unusual is like how long it took me to realize this, and then also figuring out a way that's long term to lose weight, where I'm like losing pounds week after week after week. Um, there are definitely like dietary things I had to learn. What types of food um, I should eat better. Like I think I mentioned, I don't know, I can't remember if I mentioned this video or not, but this this previous week, I decided to make a stew. I posted pictures on Twitter and Discord. So if you're interested in like seeing like what types of food that I'm eating, like just go on the Discord. Um, I decided to like make a stew. I went to the local grocery store. I went to the meat section, the butcher. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's just like the meat section. And then asked the people to like get me some shaved beef. It was like 2 pounds, 2 or 3 pounds of shaved beef, and then I got diced beef that's made already pre-diced for stew, and then I put that inside like a humongous pot, and then I put the meat inside the pot, and then I just browned it. It's more like steamed because there's just so much it didn't really get browned. Like it did get brown, but it wasn't like you didn't get that nice residue on the bottom of the pot. So like there's just so much water or like still left because it's frozen a little bit. The shaved beef at least, and so more like it was steamed. So once it was like fully cooked, I added some water into it, and then once I added water, I put it back onto the on top of the stove, and was getting it ready to boil, and then I put inside the soybean sprouts, and then lots of tofu. I kind of wanted to put more tofu inside it, but I only had like 2 packages inside my refrigerator. Three would have been better. Four would have been even better. But I don't think if I put four, I don't think it would have been. It would definitely have not filled. Like even though it was like a big, like the biggest pot that I had, um, all the ingredients wouldn't have fit inside of it. Especially if I did four tofu. So two was good. I did one bag of soybean sprouts, and then I added in some dashida, some soy sauce, some sesame oil, red pepper flakes, and got that into a nice boil. And then I cut up some zucchini, some daikon radish. If you've watched anime before, you know what daikon radish is. It's the white radish, not like the small American red radishes. Um, Chop that up, and then near the end I put in, and then at the last minute I add some tenjang, which is fermented soybean paste, just fermented soybean paste. Um, I mentioned samjang before, which is like tenjang with other stuff, but this time was just tenjang. It was just fermented soybean paste. It's very pungent, so if you're not used to it, you'd probably like want to like hold it away from you as you open it. Um, but yeah, I did like a spoonful, put that in, mix it up, and then let fully boil. I think it took me like an hour to make. So it's not that long because it took I ate it for like 3 days. I think I made it on Friday. I ate some on Saturday, and then some on Saturday. So Sunday, and so it lasted me 3 days. So it's definitely a good choice, for healthy foods, especially the soybean sprouts. Like I love soybean sprouts. Um, and then eating that, um, it was definitely good. It's probably even good with the tenjang because that has like some good probiotics and stuff. I don't know if they survive when it's being boiled though. I don't know. I'd have to look into that. If anybody knows, comment below and let me know. But yeah, it was definitely a healthy meal that I made, and then I ate some of it at night, and that's what caused the spike on that one day. If you saw, um, and then it went back down, um, on today this morning, because of that. So like I ate at night, and then so the next day on Saturday it went up, and then because I did the normal fasting where like I stopped eating at the 5 and then I don't eat until like around like noon. Um, my weight went down to 278, because of that, and so yeah, and then like this morning because I still had some leftover um, shaved beef, I just cooked that up and I just dumped like um maybe like a pound on top of it. So it was definitely a lot. Maybe it was a pound. Maybe it was like 6 ounces. I don't know. It was a lot though. And then yeah, it's definitely like a good. I feel like if you're trying to lose weight, like knowing how to cook is pretty crucial. Like if you don't know how to cook, then it might be a little bit harder. Um, and cooking isn't really that hard. I self taught myself how to cook since I was a kid because I was a picky eater, and so in order to get the food that I wanted, I had to learn how to cook. Um, so like when I got back from home. I'll just make myself like in high school. I'll just like make myself some food um, that I want to eat, like spam. I love spam. Spam is awesome. Um, or it's like a sunny side up egg on top of steamed rice, and then you drizzle on some sesame oil. Oh man, and some soy sauce. That stuff is awesome. It's like fried rice without the frying part. Um, at least that's how I always thought about it. And so, yeah, I think later I might try. I got some more bean sprouts inside the refrigerator, so I might make. There's a Korean side dish that's just made up of soybean sprouts, and I think I might make some of that, and maybe grab some spinach and do the same thing too. Because I really like those side dishes, and they're pretty healthy because spinach is awesome, and then soybean sprouts are awesome. And maybe make some lightly seasoned tofu and take it to work sometime. In addition to like fruits and other stuff. Since I usually like I wake up so late, and then like I have to like rush to the gym and I have to rush back to get home before work, and then like I'm preparing anything. Usually like even though it's in separate containers when I go work, it's basically like a meal. And so like I'm just having like one meal that's being like stretched out for the entire period, like the 5 hours I usually eat from. So I usually eat like 6 to 5, and so I'm usually fasting for 18 or 19 hours, and it works. I mean, the fact that you can see on the graph that I showed you that I'm slowly losing weight, and I'm not like starving. Another thing I learned was like if you try and lose weight, um, eat protein. Protein like I'm not talking about like protein powder. I don't remember about protein powder, whether or not it filled me up. I did take it when I first lost weight, but I don't remember it like making me feel full. Um, but yeah, nowadays like if I like pop in like 4 or 5 hard boiled eggs, I eat those. Like I'm pretty like full. In addition to like the fruit that I'm eating at work, or like the vegetables like cucumber and other stuff that I eat at work, like I'm pretty full. I don't feel like when I get home that I need to like eat something, which I feel like that's crucial. So protein is a definite must. Um, I'm not a fan of chicken. Like I'll eat chicken under certain circumstances, but I'm not like an uber fan of chicken. I generally prefer beef, though I do like eggs. I really like eggs. Um, and then I don't drink as much milk anymore, and that's not really because of like I know there's some YouTube videos that say like you're not supposed to drink dairy and stuff like that, but the reason why I don't drink a lot of milk isn't because of that. It's just like I don't know. I'm kind of like I'm not at the point where like I used to like just guzzle down like a gallon of milk kind of. Um, I usually like when I need like I'm hungry, I just need a quick like protein fix. I'll just open the cap and I'll like drink a mouthful, and that's enough to tide me over. It's not even like a glass. Um, it's like a it's like a percentage of a glass that I'm drinking, and that's usually enough. Though I did buy string cheese. I ate some string cheese. But that's because I haven't had string cheese in a while. Like if I ate like it kind of wasn't as I wasn't as interested later on because I only had like a couple. Um, and then yeah, but beef like usually I can go back to beef like really easily. And then because I have a nice um like a lot of fiber that I'm consuming, it definitely helps when um, the leftovers need to leave my body, um, which that's made me happy. I dealt with before I started dieting. I dealt with like constipation and stuff like that, and so like increasing the amount of fiber that I'm getting per day has really helped me stay regular. And I feel like if you're trying to lose weight and you're not regular, like something's wrong. Because that makes no sense. Like if you're eating what you're supposed to be doing, unless barring any kind of like medical condition that I have no idea about, um, you should be pretty regular. You should be getting like enough fiber in your diet, both soluble and insoluble fiber, where when you go use the restroom, like you're not trying to like force it. It should just come naturally out. And so yeah, that's another thing like pretty happy about this whole experience. Though I may not be excited about it, like I'm pretty happy about the results I'm getting. And so in addition to that, like so with the creation of this YouTube channel, though it's not exciting, these videos are not exciting, and I am totally okay with if you like go to some other channel. I'm kind of doing this. These videos are really for me, um, and like for people who just need some inspiration to like know that like weight loss can be a pretty boring process, and maybe like if they watch someone that's like going through it like week after week slowly but surely, taking step by step, making progress like 2 pounds a week, maybe even 1 pound. I saw one YouTube video that said 1.5 pounds a week is like the most optimal, and like 2 pounds is like kind of like whoa. um but like if someone's watching this who's also like struggling with weight loss, if they if they saw like how I was able to lose 2 pounds week after week after week, it'd be nice to think that these videos would be like inspirational. So because of like doing this video and like doing stuff on like my Discord server, being open about how much weight I'm losing, what types of food I'm eating, and how I'm doing at the gym. Um, Talking about gym, I actually might start doing like a graph of like how much weights I'm putting on for each exercise that I'm doing to show like to help me see like whether I'm making improvements, overall improvements, and also for viewers of these videos to see um like that there actually is growth happening. But I was also thinking, um I took a bunch of pictures of myself with our t-shirt, and I'm kind of thinking like I'll put it over somewhere here. I'll put what I look like without a shirt. So like if you need to pause the video or like leave, like you've been warned. Um, but yeah, like I took a front view, a side view of my left side, side view of my right side, um, and then I took like 45-degree angle ones, and I took a back one, and I'm kind of thinking of doing this like every every single day, and the reason why I was kind of thinking about that was it's like you don't really see that in videos. You on other people's videos. You usually see like when they actually can see like changes happening. You don't see like pictures that look nearly identical about the weight. Um, but I just want to maybe like create like a 1 month time lapse, then a 2 months time lapse, then like a 3 months time lapse, then like keep on going every month maybe. Um, and showing like how um my body composition is slowly changing. Um, I think that would also be good motivation for people who are struggling with weight loss, because if I was struggling with weight loss, I'm not really anymore. I can only imagine someone who's like never lost weight before, how I must feel like not having a reference point, because I do have reference points. I still do have pictures of myself when I was like, I wouldn't say I was ripped, but like I definitely had like you could see some six pack action going on around my stomach area, and so I can look back at these pictures of me like that's um like 150 is about when I was at that point, and so I know like if I'm 278 right now, I still need to lose 127 pounds, 28 pounds, 128 pounds I need to lose in order to get back to my top form. And like if you do that, let's see, divide that by 2 is 88 weeks. Is that what it is? I think that's 88 weeks. Or was it 89? I think it's 89 weeks. That's 89 weeks. And if there are 52 weeks in a year, 89 minus 52 is 37. So it's a year and 37 weeks that's going to take. And 37 is, let's see, divide that by 4. 4 times 9? 9 months? Yeah, it's almost like 2 years. It'll be close to 2 years for me to get back to my prime. Like, I mean, benefit is I since it's a weekly thing, like that's how many I'll have, like 80, I said 89 weeks. So there'll be like 89 videos of you guys being able to see my progress, which I guess that's silver lining, I guess, which it'll help me stay accountable. And then that's assuming I'm consistently losing 2 pounds a week. It could be high, it could be over 100 weeks, which kind of sucks because that's like over 2 years. No, that's 50, it would be 108. 108 weeks would be 2 years. Um, so anything past episode 109 and I'm still haven't reached my goal would mean that it's taking me 2 years to lose weight, which that's not fun thinking about that. But that's a reality that you, at least for me, I have to face. I can't run away from that number of it could take 2 years for me to lose weight. Um, and if that's the case, I mean that's just how it works. And I can only I have only myself to blame for losing what I had at 150 and like going through that. I could have had the willpower to go through the stuff that happened. Um, I could have not have um, tried to like use food as a way to like work through some of the issues I was dealing with. Um, and yeah, it's my own fault. And like that's as long as I'm honest about that and I'm honest about like my commitment to this, um, I can get back to my prime or even better because honestly, the first time I lost weight, I used like a lot of weight loss pills. Um, like I'd go to GNC and buy like I'd ask the rep and um, like I would notice. I don't think they recommended it to me, but I noticed like, oh, like what's this? And they're like, oh, it's just kind of that. And I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. And then like I grabbed that, and that was like my own fault. But that was not a good idea. One, it cost a lot of money, so I wasted a lot of money on that. And two, like my heart would be constantly racing all the time. So um, yeah, I was not smart. I was really ignorant about weight loss. Most of my information, like I kind of like self-taught through using. I don't want to throw any company under the bus. So I'm not going to say like names. Um, but yeah, it was kind of like really stupid how I lost weight. It was like really fast. Like people were like surprised. Like I remember one of my close friends, they had they had seen me before, and then the next time they saw me, I was 150, and they were like, "Neil, is that you?" And I was like, "Yeah." It was because I lost weight so drastically um, that they weren't even quite sure if that was me. Like that's how significant of um, of a change it was. And so, yeah, probably not the best idea to do it that way. If I'd gone back over, I don't know, I probably have done the same thing because I was like, my motivations for losing weight were kind of not the best motivations, typical guy motivations. Um, and but this time, like since I'm losing weight slowly, like 2 pounds a week, um, and then like slowly, like when I'm weightlifting, I'll like try to like really push myself, so that'll be like low reps, and then the the next week, like this current week, I tried lowering it so I can increase the reps to make sure that I was really ready to go up to the next level for the weights. And so I'm feeling a lot stronger because of that. And then the whole like intermittent fasting has worked really well for me. And this is the kind of reason why I like this video format is because like since I'm doing these videos for me, like this is everything I'm saying, whether it's web novel or for weight loss, like it's only for me. Like if you're inspired by it as you're watching this, like that's cool, and like I hope to inspire people, but I'd feel really bad if someone like copied exactly what I said and they didn't get the exact results. Like even my article where I wrote like how to make money in web novel, um, I specifically say like it's what I'm talking about is not a guarantee. Like it takes work. Like um, if you don't see like a lot of people coming onto your website or like commenting, um, you might like you're just like chugging along on your book, and then once you finish it, you might want to rethink and like go back and like edit it, because you'd be surprised like looking back at chapter one versus like the last chapter how much of a difference it is. And you might go like, what was I thinking? No wonder the number of people reading my stuff is so low, because like I really need to like improve this stuff. And so like the next time you do it, um, maybe you see a little bit more people reading your stuff, and then like as you finish editing and you're continuing on with like the next book or something like that, um, you start seeing like more slowly more, and then like once you go back and re-edit maybe like the third time the first book, you'll start seeing more and more people, and later on like people might recommend it to their friends if they're interested in it, or through social media, and then slowly you start having build up a community who enjoy your work. And I mean it's like those videos I watched where they mention like if you're doing intermittent fasting and you're not seeing the weight loss going down, it could be because you're insulin resistant. And when I watched those videos, I was like, man, like that, like I would, I would hate it if that was my situation where I wasn't seeing the weight loss, where like I was doing the fasting and like that needle wasn't going down. Um, but that means that like my situation was is so bad that like it needs to improve by that much before I start seeing results. At least that's what it said in the video. I'm not an expert in the field. I watch a lot of YouTube videos and I do a lot of my own research, and I kind of like do my own thing. And that's why I'm saying like these videos are for me, because um I don't want people like getting into like when I first started losing weight, like that was such a bad way to lose weight. Um and I wasn't able to like keep it off. Because like those stuff was happening inside my life that like um I was kind of like emotionally eating and stuff. But yeah, that was like it was because I didn't have build up the discipline and the willpower for losing weight, and I was always finding shortcuts to losing weight. And so yeah, like it's just kind of like when you're reading, going through school, and the best way, I mean, depending on like what kind of class you're going, the best way to understand the material is just to open up the textbook and just read it and do the problems, and then review the problems, review the section of the chapter that the problems relate to, and just rinse and repeat and just do it. If it doesn't stick after 10 times, then you read the chapter 100 times. If it's not 100 times, then you read it 1,000 times. And if it's not 1,000 times, you just keep on going. Just read that chapter over and over again with no distractions, no Netflix, no smartphone, no like if you have roommates, no roommates, no friends over, nothing, no distractions, only a book in front of you, and you're just reading that chapter until you just get sick and tired of it. And when you get sick and tired of it, you keep on reading that chapter. Um, And that's the same thing with weight loss. Like, sometimes, like, I do admit, like, even though, like, my appetite isn't as, like, horrible on some days, but there's some days where, like, I'm like, I just want to eat some food. I want to go to, I want to go out and eat, like, some, like, noodles and stuff. Like, there's a favorite Korean dish that I enjoy, called jjajangmyeon, and, like, I love eating that dish, but I can't eat it because it's so bad. Like, noodles, so much soy sauce, and it's lots and lots of unhealthy fats, lots of sodium, like crazy high amount of sodium. Um, it's just overall bad to eat it. At least that's my opinion about it. Like, I think it's not the healthiest thing in the world to eat. And yeah, like, I want to eat that stuff. I miss eating that stuff. I miss eating white rice. I used to eat so much white rice. I would get like a can of chicken noodle soup, and like I'd cook it up and then pour it into a giant ramen noodle bowl, and then just add some white rice into it, and I'll just mix it up and I'll eat it while watching anime, and I would gain so much weight. Or I'd do with like I'd cook up some shin ramen, which is like a um, Korean ramen, um, and like you can find that at Korean stores. It's super popular. It's easy. You probably watch like some um, mukbangs, uh, where people eat it, and I would like finish the noodles, and then I would have like the soup, um, left over, and just put white rice on that, and I'll just mix it up, and I'll just like eat it. So like so much carbs, um, and then or it's like I'd make fried rice where I'd do like several scoops of rice, tons of eggs, tons of soy sauce, tons of sesame oil, and then like add in like maybe some ham or spam or something like that, and just cook it up, put it inside of a ramen bowl, and just eat that. And I'll just like after I eat it, I just want to go to sleep because I was like so sleepy, which is horrible and like one of the reasons why I gained so much weight. But now like I'm being more methodical with what I'm eating, and I try to change it up every now and then. But yeah, it's not as fun as like being able to eat whatever you want, and like um being able to just like veg out and then just go to sleep. Like the reason like the contributing factor is like when I'd go to sleep, I'd like sleep on my belly, and I'd wake up and like my back would hurt so much. Like I'd I'd get out of bed and I'd be like, oh, like I hate it. It'd be hard to breathe sometimes because my back would be hurting so much. Um, and I don't know. I like look at myself in the mirror, and like um, my gut is still hanging out. Um, and yeah, like seeing like the stretch marks like here, like there, like you should be able to see it easily on the photo. Um, but yeah, like that's not a pretty sight. Um, it kind of makes me feel like certain things that I kind of got frustrated over. Um, kind of makes me like look back and realize like what did I bring to the table kind of situation. Not to get too serious. It's not that kind of channel, but yeah, being overweight, like you don't bring a lot much to the table. At least I didn't feel that way, and when I just thought about that, it also helped contribute. I mean, like one of my closest friends, they're they're always really supportive about like me like losing weight, and always trying to like come up with like new ideas for me to try to lose weight. And I think that was one of the reasons why, was because like they knew that I wanted um, a certain situation to like happen, and it would have been so much like it would have been like near impossible to like reach that in this kind of um, body. And so yeah, it's a lot easier when you're like 150 and you're like really in shape and stuff like that. um, but when you're overweight, it kind of makes certain life events a little bit harder. And so yeah, like I think that's why like yeah, this doing this like channel thing and like making these videos, even if no one watches them, um the fact is that like it's helping me, like just talking about it and like realizing that this is something I need to do. um Especially the fact that like I think I was building up a resistance to insulin, and so maybe I could have gotten like diabetes, um which that would have made my life a lot harder. um and so yeah, like being overweight, being obese is not full of sunshines. um can really like cause a lot of difficulties in your life. um and so doing these videos, I think are really helping me keep accountability. And the fact is, like, I'm not worried about like people watching this or like commenting. I mean, if it happens, it's nice. Um, if Even if I got like people like saying really negative things, um, I it's not really going to affect me that much. I mean, trust me, I had like 2 years full of like getting really, really like vicious and savage reviews. Like, I'm not saying it's bad reviews, because like I'm respecting the readers' mindset and their opinion, because that's just their opinion. Like, I'm not going to like um, throw it onto the ground and be like, no, your opinion goes against how I feel, and so it's invalidated. No, like it's they're saying it because that's what they believe, and so like, hey, if I don't like those opinions, then I just need to get better writing. Like, it's just that simple. Um, and that's the same thing with like weight loss. It's like if I want certain things to happen, I just need to keep at it, and I need to like seeing like I think taking the pictures will be even better. Just constantly seeing me overweight will be like a reminder that like this is important. This is not just an opportunity for like maybe improving my financial situation, um, like maybe like having like a future interview or something like that, where like trust me, like it's not supposed to happen, but like I'm not saying anybody does this, but if an employer had a chance to choose between two people of equal skill level, and one was like ripped and one was overweight, like I would I could totally empathize if they chose the other person instead of me. Um, I mean, it's not fun, but I can empathize with that. And like, I can't just run away from the situation. I gotta like look it straight in the eye and acknowledge that it's a problem, and then deal with it. And then just go about doing that. And that's like the same way I try to approach writing. Um, if I don't like people saying negative things about my chapter or my story or my characters, then I just need to get better, and just keep on going out until the positive comments just end up drowning the negative comments. Um, Not that the negative comments don't matter, but I mean, who really enjoys like reading negative comments? I think if someone had a choice between like someone's going to give you a positive comment or a negative comment, I think it's a understandable choice for someone to choose a positive comment instead of a negative comment. I'm not saying anything bad for the readers who left behind negative comments. I totally understand why they would leave that there. Um, but yeah, after getting some of those reviews and negative comments, like I kind of like take things in stride now. Um, I try to be. I kind of like as I was like driving to work, I kind of like thought of it as like positive apathy, but I don't know if apathy is the right word. It's more just like if it's not going to hurt you, and or if it's just trying to like it's a something that could improve yourself, then like don't worry about it. Just like keep on going the direction that you're going, and then as long as each and every day you're becoming a better version of yourself, at some point you'll reach your destination. It just might take a lot longer than other people. Um, and so, yeah, I feel like that's kind of like how this is going to be. Who knows? Maybe there's going to be like 200 videos. Maybe there's going to be 300 videos where I'm trying to lose weight. But as long as each episode is my weight is a lower number than the previous episode, I feel like that's that's a that's a positive outlook. I mean, ideally, I want to hit 2 pounds each episode, saying that like, yeah, I reached 2 pounds. Onto my thoughts for a day, but um, even if I was like, oh, I only lost half a pound, but it's still half a pound, or I lost zero point 0.3 pounds, that's still zero point 0.3 pounds and less. Um, and then doing the graph, doing the Discord. I don't know how the members on my Discords feel about my weight loss stuff. They've been overall pretty positive. I haven't had any negative comments about it, but hopefully it's not annoying. I think that's the only like concern that I'm worried about, whether or not my constant like updates every single day about like my weight, my weightlifting, and then my diet is kind of getting like he's still talking about that kind of thing. Um, but yeah, I mean this is just something that I have to do, and I can't let other people um, kind of like get in my way about it. Kind of like I had a friend that like invited me today um, for like hanging out, and it was probably, I think it was like going to be at like a restaurant or something like that, and I knew that like nah, like usually at those places like I would eat unhealthy stuff or like yeah, it's not going towards my goal, and so I just told them like I'm not really interested in it. Like for something else, sure, but like not that. And they were understanding, which was pretty awesome. Um, but I think that's something that I think most people that are trying to lose weight are going to have to deal with. Um, Being able to say like no, like thanks for the invite, but um, maybe we could do something else next time. Like maybe do like frisbee golf, or maybe do like basketball or tennis, or I suck at sports anyways, but it's still like it's fun hanging out with people and doing like something social. And those things are usually free anyways. Like most apartment complexes have a tennis court, at least the ones um, that I've seen, um, or a basketball hoop, or like nearby parks that have like those kind of things. Um, if I drove like a, a ways away, there's like a really nice frisbee golf course. or laser tag. Laser tag's always nice too. Um, but yeah, those are like good alternatives while being able to still socialize um, with with friends. And probably like at my work at the end, close to Christmas, is going to be like a holiday potluck, and I'm not going to be able to eat anything, which kind of bums me out. But I mean, it is what it is. Like, if you want to lose weight, then you just gonna have to be careful and be really careful about what you're focused, intentional with what you're eating. You have to be vigilant, and so yeah, all stuff like that's when you're overweight and like you don't care that you're overweight. Those things like you can just do them, but when you're trying to lose weight, uh you can't stress about it. You have to just simply say no. And if the person gets offended, then they get offended. But um, at the end of the day, I have to deal with my obesity. I mean, I try to be polite when I decline people, but since I'm the one that has to deal with my body, and like my like even right now, like my um, like having like to like lean forward, like it's been putting pressure on my body on my stomach area, um, and like my back hurts a little bit. Like these are all things that like relate to like obesity, and unless I want to like stop dealing with this stuff, um, the only way that is like just lose the weight. Even worse is like, um, before I started dieting, sometimes at night I would have like my vision would get blurry, and I'm starting to think that that was because of something related to like high um, blood sugar, something like that. I read that like um, insulin, if you have too much insulin inside your body and like you have high blood sugar, it could relate to vision issues. And so, and I haven't been having that, so like it probably had to do with blood sugar. And like I can only imagine what would have happened if like I ignored it and was like, oh, I'm just tired, and go to sleep. Because usually when I go to sleep, it'd be gone. And probably the reason why it's gone was because like I was eating while I was sleeping, and so like I was basically in the fasting state, and so my the insulin levels would probably decrease. I'm assuming all this stuff, and like to be honest, um, my insulin level was probably decreasing. The amount of sugar inside my blood was probably decreasing, and so that's probably the reason why my vision would get better. Um, but yeah, if it kept on getting worse, like who knows what could have happened. Um, so like weight loss is something I can't run away from, but I think this is a good place to end it. So hopefully next week, you'll see me lose another 2 pounds. And once again, like if if you're enjoying this content, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think about anything that I said. Um, Especially words of encouragement, like people who are trying to lose weight, like words of encouragement mean a lot. Um, and then share share to people who are also maybe like struggling with weight loss, um, or just like people who enjoy watching this stuff. I don't know. Um, Leave a like or leave a dislike, either thumbs up or thumbs down. Um, and I don't know. Also, make sure to click the notification button so you're notified of when I upload another video. And if you're interested, feel free to go to my website, read my articles that I've written, or read the web novel that I've written. Um, I think it's fun, and I've had a lot. Though I've had a lot of negative comments about it, like lately I've been having a lot of positive comments, and so I think people are enjoying it. And most of the people on my Discord server seem to be fans of my work. Um, so yeah, like come check out the. If you go to my website, at the very top, there's a link to the Discord server. Um, and if you go there, you can also like follow like the things I talked about, my how much I weigh, um, my weightlifting stuff, and then what I eat every day, and then um, and if you enjoy my web novel, you can feel free to like chat with me. Like, make sure to leave if you read my chapters, leave a comment at the bottom, what you think of at the bottom of the chapter on the web page of what you think, and if you came from this YouTube channel, or else like check out my other YouTube channel, where I narrate my work, and yeah, like see you guys next week. Hopefully I won't. The reason why episode 2 took so long was because I need to like get a adapter for my Ethernet connector, because the Wi-Fi was just too slow, and it was a 2 hour long video, and it just kept on like not uploading all the way, and so I finally got an adapter, and now I can like upload the videos. But yeah, so I'm still planning on videos should be either Saturday or Sunday, depending like whether when I have time. And so yeah, hopefully see you guys for episode 4, and with an additional 2 pounds lost. So have a good day, and I hope you have an excellent week, and you accomplish what you want to do in the future. Thanks.